Hey team, welcome to this introduction on digital citizenship. The purpose of this lesson is to talk about what digital citizenship means. Not everyone is familiar with what digital citizenship means. So the definition that I usually work with is the study and practice of ethical decision making on all pieces of technology. Now, when you think about pieces of technology, that part's pretty easy to think about. You might think about a tablet, you might think about a cell phone, a computer, you might think about a television or an Xbox or any other type of handheld gaming device. All of those represent pieces of technology. The part of this definition that's a little bit complicated for people to understand is the part where it says ethical decision making. That's the part that needs a little bit of explanation. When I think of ethical decision making, I first think about the end part where it says decision making. This morning, when you got ready for school, there were some decisions that you needed to make. You thought about what color of shoes you needed, or maybe you thought about what type of clothing you wanted to wear. Did you need a sweater? Did you not need a sweater? Were you going to need a water bottle, or were you not going to need a water bottle? And then for breakfast, did you want cereal? Did you want oatmeal? Did you want strawberries? Did you want blueberries? Did you want bananas? Those are all decisions that we make. Now, the very first part of that says ethical. And that's one word that we don't use every day. So let's look at the word ethical and what it means. When I think of the word ethical, I think of all of these synonyms. Team, say synonyms. Synonyms represent words that mean the same thing. So when I think of ethical, I think of kind, lovely, helpful, polite, using my good manners, having wisdom or being wise, being responsible, true, trustworthy, caring, delightful, community-oriented, and honest. That's a lot of synonyms. Those are all words that I think of when I think of the word ethical. So, ethical decision-making means that I choose to make decisions on technology that are wise, true, helpful, kind, and make the community a safer place. Now, Mrs. Culver, what else does digital citizenship mean? I'm glad you asked that question. When I think of digital citizenship, I think about these different categories that you see on the screen. I want to make sure that the internet is safe for everyone, and that starts with me. I need to make safe decisions when I'm using any piece of technology. When I think of digital citizenship, I also need to think about the behavior that I use when I'm using pieces of technology. I need to watch my words and the things that I post, and I need to pay attention to whether or not I am using words that are helpful and kind and build the community. Another thing that I think about is media balance, and then on my next slide I'm going to talk more about that. Cyberbullying is something that you'll learn about in time, maybe this year, if not this year, then another year. It's also appropriate to think about online purchases and how I keep my information safe. I also think about social media and the way that we use pieces of social media. And if your parents have said now is not the right time, you're not old enough to use social media, it's appropriate to respect their leadership because it's good to trust what they say. And then on the screen right here, it says use of others' material, give them credit. If you're using research that you have accumulated or gathered or used from another source, it's important that you post inside of your article or slide presentation or video where you found those resources. That's being a wise digital citizen. So, giving other people credit. On this next slide, I have a picture of a cake. And when I think about my birthday, I usually have a cake. Someone is kind enough to make a cake for me. Now let's pretend that it's your birthday, and let's pretend that mom has given you a cake. Would it ever be wise or helpful to eat the entire cake at one time? I mean, that might be something that you've dreamed of before, but let's think about it. Is that really helpful or good for your teeth? Is that good for your tummy? Would you have a tummy ache when you were finished trying to eat the entire thing? Well, it would not be wise or helpful to eat the entire thing. That's why we have balance. When you think about a dinner plate, so let's look at this next slide. When you think about a dinner plate, you have fruits and vegetables, you have carbohydrates, and then you have a protein of some kind. And this is what balance looks like on your dinner plate. And so the four things that we typically invest in when we're on technology are these four categories: entertainment, creating, learning, and shopping. So things that make you giggle, things that you design, things that make you smarter, and then sometimes people will shop using technology. Another way that we can use technology balance or digital balance is that, or media balance, is that we can turn the technology off and we can go outside. We can play with Play-Doh, we can use a musical instrument, we can go on a walk, we can play with our dog, we can sing a song. There are so many things that we can do that have nothing to do with technology, and sometimes media balance is just no media at all. On this next slide, I'm showing you what someone's kitchen looks like. Now, I don't know if your kitchen has ever looked like this, but I have a feeling that you probably have some rules in your house that are designed to keep you safe and to keep you clean. In your house, I'm predicting that it's someone's job every day to wash the dishes. And it might be somebody else's job to empty the dishwasher every day. It's a team effort. You work together as a family to make sure that that task is taken care of. And you do that to make sure that your kitchen is a healthy place. You don't want bacteria and germs to grow in there. And you also want to make sure that all of your plates and cups and forks and knives are clean so that the next time you want to eat, you've got clean utensils. So rules are important. And you don't want to leave your shoes in the entryway all day long for someone to trip on them. And you want to make sure that you turn your lights off in your house so your electricity bill isn't too high, and you need to turn the faucet off so you don't waste water. Believe it or not, you've got a lot of rules in your home. So doesn't it seem appropriate that when you're using technology that you also have rules? If your family does not have rules, also known as a media agreement, maybe you can start that conversation with mom and dad. Maybe tonight at dinner, you can say, Mom, what are the rules that we have about technology in our home? Or Dad, what are the rules that we have about technology in our home? In today's lesson, your teacher is going to talk to you about a potential media agreement for your home. You don't have to use this in your home. It's just a discussion starter. If you have not established rules in your home about technology, feel free to use this as a tool to talk about this at home with your parents. Pay attention to your teacher's leadership. Your teacher will guide you through the rest of this lesson. Thank you so much for paying attention, and have a great day.